The G.I. Joe team at Hasbro has harnessed magic, as they have captured everything that made the original Serpentor and Air Chariot sets so much fun, all while improving nearly every single detail. Could this PulseCon exclusive become the release of the year? Arise, Serpentor, Arise was the 1986 introduction to the genetically engineered Emperor of Cobra, Serpentor. Created by Dr. Mindbender, who along with Destro wanted to create a new leader for Cobra to supplant Cobra Commander. The multi-episode arc that kicked off Season 2 of the Sunbow series was an instant classic. The character of Serpentor was as well. His mishmash of DNA from conquerors of history's past was a silly yet imagination-inspiring move for kids watching. And his toy matched that energy as well. A dude dressed up as a gold and green cobra snake that got around on a gold air chariot was what made G.I. Joe a real American hero so much fun during its peak. Being such an integral character to the show, animated movie, and comics, he would have to make an appearance in the 6-inch scaled G.I. Joe classified line. But the 6-inch scale could have been prohibitive to getting the Serpentor and Air Chariot combo that we all would want. Thankfully, at the 2022 San Diego Comic-Con, the G.I. Joe team revealed the Classified Series Serpentor as a 2-pack that would include his Air Chariot. The Classified Series has been impressive from the start, featuring great sculpting, engineering, paint apps, and design. Serpentor was no exception for his SDCC debut. I was blown away by what I saw at the Hasbro booth. The only thing that worried me was his PulseCon exclusive status and his possible price tag. Both of those fears subsided as the set was priced at a reasonable $79.99, and while the first wave of orders did sell out, they opened up a second run while our friends in Canada could find them at their GameStops. The packaging is deluxe with an outer cutaway sleeve that, when removed, reveals a gateway door that showcases the figure and features art for the chariot on the other side. It also features most of his accessories in the door panels. The back features fantastic art depicting various scenes from Serpentor's lore. The packaging wasn't super collector friendly. There's a lot of tape that needs to be strategically removed to prevent damaging the box if you want to keep it nice. His attached snake cowl was unconnected to mine, but as an opener, it didn't bother me much. It attached just fine once I got him out. The figure itself is absolutely fantastic. I love how much detail Hasbro puts into their classified figures. All of the fun and outlandish aspects of the original figure are brought to life, but in a realistic fashion. The fact that they effectively pulled this off, considering how over the top the Cobra Emperor's design was, is a testament to the G.I. Joe design team. His gold, yellow, and green paint scheme is flawlessly executed. Upgrades in paint application, compared to the original, bring the green snakes to life. And the paint apps on his face finally give us a visage worthy of the amalgamation of Caesar, Khan, and Napoleon. The paint would be nothing without a good sculpt, and the sculpting is fantastic. All the scaling detail could have easily been washed out, but it's nearly pitch perfect. Given how much scaling there is, it could have easily gotten too repetitive, but they changed the look of the scales. The gold base of the suit is small, while the headdress and boots get larger. And the scaling is more lifelike on the green parts. It's so freaking cool. I will say the articulation is great, but the joints were super tight. I've heard this be the case for several other people's Serpentors. I would rather have stiffer joints than looser ones, but you may want to heat them up first to avoid breaking them. You have two different options for the Cobra headdress. The one that he is displayed in package with is more accurate to the intended design of the character, with the hood connecting directly to the head. While the second option works more like the original toy, with the hood attaching separately to the back and the top of the Cobra cowl attaching directly to the head. Unlike the vintage one, the way they designed the new one allows you to freely move the head while still looking like they're connected when looking at the figure from a lot of different angles. This is a really clever illusion and another win for the engineering of this figure. The rest of his accessories are great. He comes with a cobra, much like the vintage figure, but instead of gold or green, it is painted accurately to the real thing. He still comes with an additional green snake. I love that we got two options for the hand blades, one retracted and one protracted. He also comes with a sword and cobra staff, upgrades from the small dagger of the original. Even though I have a hard time not thinking of Jafar whenever I see a gold cobra staff, I think it works great with the figure, and I will display him this way. The last accessory, his cape, is really well executed. I know some will be disappointed that it isn't sparkly like the original, but the scaling that they added to the backside looks great. And while it would have been really cool for it to have been a wired cape, you can still open the cape and rest it on the fins of the chariot to give him that windblown look. Speaking of his chariot, it would have been easy to phone it in, given how much they put into making the Serpentor great. But they didn't. In every way they made the figure a knockout, they did the same with the air chariot. Every detail from the original is captured here, but upgraded. Every sticker is now a paint application. And tons of details that were just sculpted in the gold plastic are upgraded to make them more lifelike. Air vents, instruments, fins, and exhaust ports, as well as the snake's eyes, are painted black. There's even some red paint added to the underneath exhaust ports as well. There are little silver touches on the top of the Cobra hood, its teeth, and the hover fan. And when comparing the assembly sheet to the original, it's a much simpler assembly. In terms of its function, it does everything you'd want it to. It has fold-out landing gear, you can move and position the guns as well as the fins, and the hover fan looks more realistic, but you do lose the easy spinning function of the original toy. But it does still spin though. Another added feature is that the Cobra's mouth opens up, featuring a little gun and fangs. I did not see the fangs at first, even when looking for them. It wasn't until I confirmed by looking at pictures from other people's sets that I looked again and found them hiding up there. I don't know how they could have made this feature more user-friendly. It's such a tight space. I had to use a toothpick to get them safely down. Putting the figure on his air chariot was a little tough. If this was real life, he would need to be in a more squatting position to stably ride the small hovercraft. The same is true with this set. If you stand him upright, the handlebars are too low, so you must get him into a slight squat to make it work. Once he's on the chariot, you get the full effect of this set, and it is so freaking cool. As an adult collector that runs off of nostalgia for the toys I grew up with as a kid, this set is exactly the type of figure that I look for. Find the beats that made the original a great toy, but modernize them to my adult sensibilities. This set does all of those perfectly. As I said at the top of the video, this may be my favorite toy of the year. It wasn't impossible to find, it wasn't ridiculously expensive, and it looks absolutely fantastic on a shelf, while still remaining true to the quirkiness of the original character. Well done, G.I. Joe team, well done. If you want to keep watching, check out this video, and until next time, hasta luego, and goodbye.